Whoa! Oh man. Oh. Just won't stop. Well, let's say that's enough recording for the day. Now, to import this footage, and then I can get right to editing. I'm gonna watch while I wait for this to import. Let's see. Nah.
I will not be replaced. I will not be overshadowed by that fancy piece of revolutionary junk. The way you is nothing. I will not rest until it is destroyed. You cannot stop the almighty Nintendo!
Yeah! Alright, admit it. You loved the show when you were a kid. Although it may not share the same level of nostalgia that other shows have with me, like Rugrats, Avatar, or Teen Titans, it was still a show that I remember very well, and I still think it's a good show even to this day. The show is about 3 superpowered little girls who use their powers to fight crime and protect the city of Townsville. And that's about it. Pretty basic story if I do say so myself. Now, all of this sounds fine and dandy, but why am I bringing this up? Because I recently learned that this exists. Yes, you're seeing this right now. A brand new Powerpuff Girls episode is rumored to be made sometime in early 2013. And almost a full year later, Cartoon Network released a commercial that confirmed those rumors. And let me tell you, I got excited. A lot of people really jumped to conclusions with this episode, saying it was going to be awful right around when the rumors first popped up. Now this is understandable since we would later find out that an entirely new company would be working on this episode, and Craig here, the original creator of the Powerpuff Girls, wasn't going to have any part in making this episode at all. I can understand that a new company working on a familiar series, can be a bit worrisome at times. But the real reason people were claiming this was going to stink was because they didn't like the new character designs. I'm not even joking. People were whining, claiming this was going to ruin the series simply because, the characters look different. Guys, are you really gonna judge something based off appearances? Come on, that's just silly. And besides, I'm pretty sure the character designs aren't that bad. I mean, just look at how much work they put in these fresh new characters. Oh, no. Yeah, okay, so the new design doesn't look spectacular, but did I jump to the conclusion and say this was gonna stink just because the girls look different? No, not at all. I waited until more information was announced and actually gave it a chance. A lot of people think this is gonna be a reboot, a fresh, brand new Powerpuff Girls TV show. And unfortunately, that hasn't been confirmed yet. Cartoon Network advertised this as a special, and that's about all the info they gave us. But the question is, does this have what it takes to be a successful series? Well, there's only one way to find out. Grab your popcorn and drinks, because we're going to take a look at the brand new Powerpuff Girls special, Dance Pants. Let's not drag this introduction out any longer, and let's just jump right in. Oh, right. The cable's out. I was kind of supposed to fix that. So the episode begins with a very well done recreation of the opening from the original show.
Sugar, spice, and everything nice.
Yeah, this is looking pretty promising. Well, except that I'm pretty sure hands aren't supposed to bend like that.
The Powerpuff Girls were born!
And one of them looks really confused by what's going on. So is she. Okay, so far this is looking very good, but remember, this is only the opening. The creators can easily look at the opening from the old show and not watch anything else. But, if these new guys know anything at all about the old series, and want to convince me that they can pull this off, then they should know that each and every single episode absolutely has to begin with
The city of Townsville.
Oh my gosh, this is amazing!
A hustling, bustling whirlwind of camaraderie, friendliness, and friendship.
I used to wonder what friendship could be.
So Mr. Narrator explains that some famous people are visiting Townsville. These people are a mathematician, an opera singer, and a badger? A rare badger? Okay. All is fine until suddenly an evil robot starts capturing all three of these guys. There's only one team of superheroes who can put a stop to this mess.
That's right, the Powerpuff Girls.
So gross, I hate broccolini.
Of course you do, Buttercup. I mean, it's not like there was an episode where you and the other two girls had to learn to eat vegetables or anything. Now, something you might be noticing by now is the new animation style. I already explained what I think about the new character designs, but I want to talk about the animation itself. And one thing I can definitely say about it is that it's very unique. It's 3D animated, but style-wise to look 2D like the original show. And I gotta say that it's a very unique idea. Now, let me remind everyone that unique doesn't always mean good. I'll admit the art style does look very nice, but my main problem is the actual movements of the characters. The movements are a bit stiff and choppy looking. Probably make the animation look like old animation from very early cartoons, but come on, the animation from the old series was smoother than this. And it's most noticeable in the facial animations, which are probably the most choppy looking of them all. Come on guys, we do better than this. We're not in the early 2000s anymore, okay? We're not playing Powerpuff Girls Relish Rampage on the PlayStation 2!
Yeah, the hotline's buzzing. Gotta go.
Hold it! You're not going anywhere until you finish all your delicious broccolini.
Oh yeah, Professor. Sure. Yeah, I'm sure thousands of people getting murdered by the giant robot can wait patiently for the Powerpuff Girls to finish eating their dinner. Luckily though, Blossom and Bubbles actually understand the urgency of the situation and work together to help Buttercup finish her plate faster and hold on, stop. What did I just see? Did Bubbles just use ice breath? No! That's Blossom's ability. Bubbles doesn't use ice breath. Well, did they all maybe gain the ability to use ice breath over time? Nope. They make it perfectly clear throughout the entire episode that Bubbles is the only one who can use this ability. Newsflash, that's Blossom's ability, not Bubbles. But this episode has been enjoyable so far, so I guess I'll give it a pass for now. Bubbles uses ice breath on the broccoli, Buttercup chops it up, and Blossom uses heat vision on the broken ice pieces, and that somehow turns it into a gummy bear. Okay. So they head for the robot, and using their awesome powers, they whip that tin can for— Okay, I don't know how you're not dead. I mean, I know you have powers and all, but not even Superman could possibly survive that. So they decide to go with Planet Broccolini to destroy this robot. Bubbles freezes it, Buttercup smashes it to bits, Blossom uses heat vision, and it turns into a gummy bear. Okay, it didn't make sense when you did it with food, so how does it make any more sense when you did it with metal? And it's revealed that the one controlling the robot is
Mojo Jojo.
He talks about how he'll someday destroy Townsville, even though they made it perfectly clear in the series finale that he wanted to help Townsville, not destroy it. And this information causes the citizens to laugh at him. And he runs off crying. Wimp. Professor congratulates the girls for their hard work and promises to buy them a reward tomorrow, which they then proceed to do the next morning. They decide to get a video game, but not just any video game, they decide to get Dance Dance Revolution! It's cool, it's hot, it's the game all the girls are going crazy over. See? All 3 of them! And just look at how much they want to get this game. They're throwing a temper tantrum to convince their father to buy it. Look at those toys fall off that shelf. Look at that crack in the floor. Look at this girl throwing her sister and breaking the shelf. What? Jeez, girls, they're throwing a temper tantrum and then they're just being flat out insane. But that's okay, because Professor buys the game for the girls, and they proceed to play it. Look at this exciting gameplay! So they then get a call from the mayor, who asks for their help. They fly over there, and it turns out the big emergency is... he can't get his pickle jar off the shelf. Oh, Mayor. You'd think this little pickle obsession of yours would get annoying after a while, but for some reason, it just makes you more awesome. Well, except for this scene from earlier, which is kinda creepy.
Oh dear, so beautiful.
So obviously the girls solve this problem very easily by simply taking the jar and handing it to the...
Broccolini!
Wait, what? No, okay, thank goodness. Bubbles is still at home playing the game.
Sorry, Mayor, but we won't be able to get your pickle jar down for you.
What? Did Blossom, like, take a knock on the head earlier? I mean, don't get me wrong, the joke was still pretty funny, mostly because the mirror captured my reaction perfectly.
But it's right there next to you.
I said sorry, now deal with it!
It was a funny joke, but it seemed really out of character for Blossom to act like this. First of all, why did she think doing planned broccolini was the perfect way to get the jar off the shelf? Wouldn't that destroy the pickle jar, or rather turn it into a gummy bear? I mean, don't get me wrong, girls, I'm very impressed with your ability to turn any object into a gummy bear, but planned broccolini can't solve all of your problems. Second of all, as I stated earlier, this is really out of Blossom's character. So let me get this straight. You're telling me that Blossom, leader of the Powerpuff Girls, the voice of reason of the 3, and the complete bookworm who always studies, can't do the simple task of taking the jar off of the shelf and handing it to the mayor. What? Blossom wouldn't do that? Heck, none of the girls would act like that. I know the Powerpuff Girls are supposed to be kids and all, but come on, they weren't stupid. But anyways, after that, they head back home and convince Bubbles to stop playing the game because Blossom believes it's breaking up the team. Why they don't fly back to help the mirror after doing this, I don't know. Since they aren't going to play the game anymore, the girls decide to give it to the professor. And then he freaks out about it. He retreats to his lab, and then we get this random backstory about how the professor wanted to be a dancer, but then he got laughed off stage, met some scientists, and that's why he became a scientist. I know there was like some kind of backstory about the professor and how he used to hate science in an episode of the old series, but this is just random. And not the good kind of random either. It's not even that funny, it's really only here to set up for the climax. But anyways, the doorbell rings and Bubbles goes to answer it. On the welcome mat, she sees a totally not suspicious box for a supposed sequel to the Dance Pants game. Upon seeing the box, Bubbles remembers the promise she made to her sisters.
So don't play Dance Pants Revolution. Okay. I never said I wouldn't play Dance Pants Revolution.
I'll be honest, if I was that addicted to a game, I'd probably use the exact same excuse. Bubbles is just about to put on the pants when they suddenly come to life and take control of her, and Blossom and Buttercup soon follow after her. If you couldn't guess by now, Mojo Jojo is the one behind this evil scheme. Now that he has control over the girls, he has them recapture the Badger, the Opera Singer, and the Mathematician from earlier.
Come dance with us
My gosh, lady, overreacting much? I know the joke with this character is that she's always singing opera. Like, always. But I still cracked up when I saw this for the first time. I mean, look, they aren't even doing anything, aside from looking a bit creepy. They just say like 5 words and then she just bursts out into a panic attack. Best joke in the entire episode.
Come dance with us
So Professor finds the captured victims and finds out about Mojo's evil scheme as he very quickly puts the pieces together. You got your pen and paper ready? Because this is quite a complicated plan.
And that's when the professor put 2 and 2 together. Mojo Jojo is taking control of the Powerpuff Girls and forced them to kidnap a Badger who can dig through the professor's steel security doors, Fibonacci Sequence, whose reflective jacket can thwart the security lasers, and an Opera Singer who can crack the impenetrable glass protecting Chemical X. Whereby Mojo Jojo can steal Chemical X, gain super evil monkey powers, take over Townsville, and destroy the Powerpuff Girls.
Okay, I think I got it. So, the Badger will use his super strength to dig through the metal doors, the Mathematician will use his bling to reflect the lasers and not get burned somehow, and the Opera Singer will use her voice to break the glass case that Mojo could have just easily lifted out of the way on his own. And this will allow him to drink Chemical X, so he can turn into a giant and destroy the Powerpuff Girls, even though they are under his control and no one has a reason to destroy them. Got it. Wait. So he wants to use Chemical X to become a giant so he can destroy the girls. Didn't he already try that in the movie? So the professor finds the girls and tries to get them to snap out of their mind control, but it looks like it's no use. However, the mayor comes up with a plan to challenge the girls to a dance-off. If they win, it may break the girls away from Mojo's control. So, that's what they do. Professor, the mayor, and Miss Bellum suit up and we get a dance-off showdown. What the heck? What? Why do I feel like that's not physically possible? Or an actual dance move? It seems like the girls are winning, so it looks like desperate times calls for desperate measures. Professor uses his old dance moves and gets laughed at just like what happened all those years ago. No, really, exactly like before. Same people and everything. Also, this girl annoys me. She really does. It's bad enough we had to see her once in the flashback. Why do we have to show her again? Why? She wasn't funny the first time. She made me want to mute my TV. Fire her. Please. So laughter caused the professor to not only spontaneously change clothes within a couple seconds, but also causes him to break down crying. The girls see this, and it causes them to have flashbacks of all the good times they had with the professor, thus breaking the control Mojo had over them. But Mojo quickly activates the pants again and makes the girls run infinitely. It looks like there's no way out, but if there's one thing we learned from this episode, it's that Plan Broccolini apparently solves all of your problems. So the girls use this plan once more to destroy the pants, then quickly return to Mojo to give him his well-deserved butt whooping. Oh, that's disgusting. I mean, jeez, I know whenever Mojo gets beaten up, you would always see, like, his brain peeking out the crack of his hat, but it never leaked out. Well, I guess it's not that bad. After all, it'll just fix itself in the next shot. See?
Not after that. I'm trying to form a softball team.
And with that, Mojo gets sent to jail and the episode ends. And so, once again, the day is saved. Thanks to the Powerpuff Girls. Wait a second, go back. What did he just say?
Chemical X. I'm not after that. I'm trying to form a softball team.
A softball team?
I'm trying to form a softball team.
A softball team.
A softball team.
A softball team? Hey Mojo, here's an idea. Why don't you ask one of your other supervillain friends to join your team? So either in doing all of this just to get players. I mean, it's been a while since I've seen the show, but I don't recall Mojo ever making a plan as ridiculous as that. But anyways, they play some softball, and then Mojo gets sent to jail.
And so, once again, the day is saved, thanks to the Powerpuff Girls.
So that was Dance Pants, everyone. What do I think of it? Well, as someone who grew up with the original Powerpuff Girls series, I can honestly say, I really liked this episode. This was a great episode. Yeah, there were a few issues here and there, but for these writers' very first Powerpuff Girls episode, this was very well done. However, if this is going to be turned into a full-on series, which I really hope it does, there are a few things that need to be fixed. First, the obvious thing, the animation. It really needs to be smoothed out. I don't so much mind the art style, but the choppiness of the characters' movements really bothers me. Secondly, the character personalities. Now, don't get me wrong, most of the time the characters do act like themselves. But you see, that right there is the main problem. It doesn't happen very often in this episode, but there were some cases where some of the characters acted completely, well, out of character. Now, these are brand new writers, so they're probably still trying to learn how to write dialogue for these characters correctly, so I will cut them some slack. But this is still something that needs to be fixed if this gets turned into a series. Don't have a character randomly act out of character just for the sake of a joke, because when you do that, the joke becomes less funny and more confusing. But honestly, those are my only two problems with this episode. Overall, I'd say this is an episode worth checking out. This was a very nice trip down memory lane, and I think newcomers of the series will enjoy this as well. This was a very great episode that had me smiling throughout the entire thing. Well, except this part. Why were you even in this? If you happen to stumble across it on Cartoon Network, or if they ever come out with a DVD of this episode, give it a watch. You may actually be surprised. Alright, look at finished importing, awesome. Now then, what level do I have to record next?
Come dance with us when